Going on YouTube? Today I wanted to get on here and make this video really quickly. Basically just talking about how I was able to quit my job for 6 months, save up some money, and really start my journey onto the entrepreneurship road, right? Because it's something that like I really wanted for the longest time, but never really took action with. And I think there's a lot that I've learned from my time away and what I've done. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it was pretty vital to me. So basically, 6 months ago, I was working as a waiter, and I've worked many jobs, right? But we'll just start there. I was working as a waiter. I was working there for years and years, different restaurants and stuff like that. But last year, I was really, sick of just not having no money, man, and just being in this like system that we're all thrown into with working a job and hating it. And so, I started like reading and watching videos and like really started to hone in, right? Focus on what I wanted, which was wealth, right? To create a path for me, which I could be financially free and but I didn't know like what went into that. I was not prepared for like what actually that meant, right? Because there's a lot that comes with it. So basically, I'm working as a waiter, and I start reading and watching videos on how to save money and how to invest, and about starting a business and all this stuff, right? And I tried a bunch of different things. But what ended up happening was I learned like discipline from really honing in. And once you learn a little bit about money, you start to think differently internally about it and the complexities of it. And it's just like you realize not everybody is on that same page. And that's why a lot of people are bad with money and don't have money. So I was working there for a while and I knew I wanted to get out. So I basically just was like, let me save and invest, all my money. Uh, that way, I can retire one day and have like a good living, right? And be able to have my investments work for me and this and that. But the reality is so much differently than that because you realize that it, when you're saving and investing and working at a job, like it takes a long time for you to be able to be in a position where your investments are working for you. I wanted to invest in like ETFs and I invested large chunks at a time into investments and savings and I was doing multiple of that, right? But one thing I learned was that I didn't want to wait, right? I wanted to take a risk and get money sooner. And this is the important thing that I learned is like money, making a lot of money quickly, especially like it comes from you taking that risk and being super scared and unsure. Whereas like, investing and saving, like it gives you the security and I support anybody who does that. Like I think that's a good path to go on. If you're smart with money and you're saving and investing, you're that's a good route to go if you want that security and you want that life. But I knew like internally, I didn't want that, right? I wanted to be in a position to where I could make money and not wait years and years and years and years. So what I did personally is I started saving my money, and I had no money ever saved up in my entire life, by the way. But once you start to save, like, dude, it is actually like easier than you think. Like once you really break down what the hell you're spending your money on, it was insane. So within 6 months, I saved up 8 grand. I saved up $8,000, and the leverage I started to have once I had money, like everything just started clicking, bro. It was like things just started to make sense because I was now at this job that I really didn't like. But it's still a good hustle, by the way. Waiting, really good hustle for some money. If anyone like needs some quick cash, dude, if you can figure out how to wait tables, bro. I mean, there were nights I'd walk out with $200-300 easily, and I don't even live in a high income area. But besides the point, so I saved up a lot of money and I knew I wanted to do something with it, right? But my goal initially was just to save up 10 grand and like, go from there and start saving and investing and really like, go at this shit. But my way of thinking changed. Like once I had that leverage, bro, and once I had some money in my bank account, um, I didn't want to take the slow route no more. I wanted to use that money to make more money quickly. Like, and I wanted to keep that system going, right? And I was just like, if I can just figure out a way to, be able to pay my bills and be self-sufficient and work for myself, like that's what I really want. I don't care if I'm making less money. I would much rather make 15, 20K a year and work for myself than making 40, 60K working, you know what I mean, 40 hours a week at a company. And like, that's just me. I just cannot do it. But I learned a lot from having that leverage at a job. And like, I realized that it is so powerful because I'm like, my living expenses at this time were not that high. Like, thankfully, as messed up as the economy is now. But I'm like, oh, dude, like I can do this. Like, the more I started to like save my money and stuff, I was like, if I could just find something to pay me enough to live, and then figure out a way to invest this money into something where it works for me and pays back. Like, that's what I want, right? Like, I don't want, I want to have options. I want to be able to do like what I want and work when I want, because like you work really well for your, like, if you want to work for yourself, you find out that you are very efficient when you're not on a schedule, when you don't have a deadline, right? Because you can work as much as you want or not at all, but you still have to work. Like, you have to put in the work. So I saved up 8 grand, and then I actually had someone, thankfully, who showed me eBay, right? And this was after I had tried other stuff, right? I did like crypto, I did like I tried like drop shipping, all this stuff, and I was like, I was so unsure, and that was the problem, by the way, is like you can't have multiple things going on. You have to pick something and just stick to it, and like that's where the results come from, because the results just come from repetitiveness. Like, you literally you can't not have results if you are so stupidly consistent. Much more than the average person. Like, it's impossible, right? Like, I didn't realize that. So a buddy of mine got me into eBay, and he was more like a mentor, right? And he still is now. And thank, like, if you have that opportunity, please like take that. If someone's like trying to put you onto something, like, bro, I'm telling you, just take a chance on something. And when he showed me what he did and how he was making money from it, like a lot of money too, like not just a little bit. Dude had been doing it for a while. I was like, I want this. I could do this, right? And I really like honed in, and I had like a source to buy from too, which was obviously like really important, right? Uh, but I also started to research like eBay like crazy when I first got into it. Like, so what I did is I literally took all of my money, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I pulled out my crypto, I pulled out my Roth, like literally everything. And I know it sounds stupid, but I didn't want that, right? I wanted to take a risk. I wanted to be scared, and I wanted to not know basically like what the hell I was doing for the first time in my life. I was like, yeah, let's do this shit. Like, if it fails, fuck it. Like, I don't even care anymore, right? And that's the mindset you need to have, like, because once you break that barrier, it is so you just start seeing things so differently. Like, your vision gets so clear. So I invested literally all my money, thousands of dollars, like 7, 8 grand into eBay, and I got into motorcycle parts. That was my niche that I was doing, and I ended up finding like a bunch of other shit that I've sold. But my point is, uh, it was so slow at first, and I was feeling so stupid, and I was like, what did I do? Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, this is totally not going to work. And that was so normal to have that thought when you're first doing something. You're just scared. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, is it going to fail, or is it going to succeed? But I ended up doing, sales very slowly. It trickled in, and to the point where it was like, it's not even worth it. And I almost quit multiple times. But luckily, like, the buddy who got me into this, he was like, "No, man, like, just keep at it, just keep at it." And then what I learned is that, he had done the process already that I was trying to replicate. But once you hear it from somebody who's already done it, it's much easier. And I think that's where it's good that like these YouTube videos and stuff come in, because like it's just so relatable to see somebody who built it like up from not having anything or not being sure what they want to do, and then it's just like they just picked this thing and kept at it and it worked. And that's really all it is. Like, there's no secret formula. There's no like the only way you cannot do it is if you just don't do it. Like, that's what I've realized. Same with like posting content and everything else. Like, you have to just do it and not really give a shit what other people like think, and you're doing it for you. So like, I ended up spending all my money, and it was stupid. Like, it was, looking back at it now, like, it was so dumb. But luckily what had happened was, it turned into an income for me. I started to sell like and snowball really quickly. And I did, just this last 90 days, like $8 or $9 thousand, which is crazy, bro. Because like, I never thought that I'd have anything in the background like working for me. and I'm like, I want to hit this a little bit harder and do other stuff, right? But I've learned a lot from it too, because like you never know where the money is going to come from, um, because you don't know if it's not going to come that day or that week, right? And so like there were days and weeks where I made a lot of money, but there were days and weeks where I made literally no money, like nothing at all. And that's where like I realized that it's okay to be working a job to build your thing into a thing that gets you out of that job, right? And like even now, like it's hard to go back. Like, bro, once you have the freedom of not working and being able to pay your bills and like understanding like how it's done, and you build a system, like you don't want to go back, you know what I mean? And that's where the magic comes from, is you being like so scared and unsure of like what's going to happen, right? Because I know I was like super scared, but your confidence goes up, and the more I did it, I was like, oh dude, like this can work, like I can do this. The only thing holding me back is me, right? Like if I just choose not to do it, then it's just not going to work. But I will say though, like once you start doing it and it starts working, it happens so quickly that you almost don't even know like how to handle it. Like it's like too much at once, you know what I mean? And that's how anything is. Like, say you blow up on social media or whatever, and it's like your first time actually like having a thing that you built and that's working for you. It's just like so overwhelming with excitement. Like it's a good feeling, but it's scary because you're like fuck, like what if this fails, or like what if I have to go back to work? And it's like, like dude, once you do it though, like your confidence is just like, oh, I could do this. Like I could 100% do this. Like there's no reason that other people are doing this and I can't. But that initial push is like very hard to get through, and that's why like these kind of videos are so good. For like I watch these exact same kind of videos too when I was first getting into it, because I'm like, oh, like everyone else is trying to do this, and I'm just like, but you really have to hone in and focus and drive your attention into it and just get rid of like all the background noise. And before you know it, like it's already been a year, since I started doing eBay. I started it like way before I knew like I was going hard into it, but I basically saved up a lot of money. And then when I quit my job, I had enough money like for my bills, and like I had put aside like a nest egg. So I gave myself some time, and I was basically like, if this doesn't work, then, I know at least I have like 3 months of bills paid. Like I can literally not make any money and my bills are paid for 3 months, right? Like that's literally when I reached that point, um, I was just like, I'm good. I'm good, because like you have leverage. Like money gives you that time and leverage that you need to be able to think clearly and make these decisions. Because bro, when you're living like paycheck to paycheck and you're barely getting by, you legit don't even have the energy or the want to do anything. Like it kills your fire, and it's like men especially, like we need purpose, right? We need to build something, make something. It's like very important, or else we just feel like life is just passing us by, and like we're doing nothing, right? But yeah, man, I just wanted to say, like, if you're grinding right now at your job and you're trying to build that thing on the side, like, dude, fucking keep at it, bro. Because like I'm telling you, it can get to $1,000 a month like way quicker than you thought. I literally went from making like $100 a month to 1,000, 2,000 in a month within like 2 months, bro. It was just consistency. Like I just, I was doing it every day. But I've definitely slowed down now, and I see like the problem with the discipline and being consistent is because like once you do it so much, and even when it works, you're gonna get tired of it, the repetitiveness of just doing it over and over again. But it's like, that's where the magic fucking happens, because you can really, you know just keep grinding it out, and like you're just doing it for yourself. I will say though, if you're thinking about starting a business, get in the reselling, eBay marketplace, like that was the thing that I kind of like honed in on, and I'm glad I did too, because like I'm sure anything would have worked for me, right, if I really put my mind to it. But again, this was all because like I had been tipped from my friend, and I was like, hey man, can you get me into this? So if you have that opportunity, like if one of your friends or even family members or coworkers are into something, like dude, try to like pick their brain a little bit, because that knowledge is so you can't pay for that. It's inexpensive, but I'll save that topic for another video of why it's good to have like a mentor, basically. But Yeah, no, I just wanted to get on here and basically tell you that, dude, it is so possible, and don't ever think you are like stuck and you are just like hopeless, right? Because when you give in to that fucking despair, like that's when like the walls start creeping in, and you're just stuck, bro. But yeah, keep at it. Stay disciplined and keep your head down, and you can do this, man. I like you can do it.